Hello. Usually when I do these videos, I'm filming on Thursday and I upload on Thursday, but today is Wednesday, but I'm tired of my nails looking like this because I tore off last week's nails really quickly. That has nothing to do with the nail quality. It just has to do with me. So, and this week I'm actually going to paint them instead of doing nail strips. So this is actually one of my favorite colors. It's a Revlon and it's called Divine. It's one of my favorite colors that I have, and I decided to use this one today. Typically, like I said, I'm doing these videos on Thursday, but I am really tired of my nails looking this way, so we're going to do it today. So this week, what I'm going to talk about is, and I'm going to get my phone because my notes are on my phone. There it is. I have had some stuff on my heart recently, and so I thought I would share it in this video. So some stuff that's been coming up that I've been noticing and seeing in the business world, in the YouTube world, in just in the world in general, and social media, is this idea of comparison. We feel like we have to do something bigger and better than other people, or we feel like we need to do things in a way that that really, I don't know, that we want to be the biggest and the best. And what I'm struggling with this week is that there is this whole, oh, see, that's why I use nail strips, because now I've got it all over my finger there, but we're gonna fix that. So, God has been really working with me with this idea of abiding in Him, and the things that He has created me to do. And in doing so, what I've been noticing this week is that there are sometimes people that have a hard time with being who He created them to be, or they kind of try to emulate others even though He called them to something different. And the reason I bring this up is because something I've been noticing is that it's really easy to peg people in this place. And if you watched my video last week, you'll see some author tubers that have been inspiring to me. And even though they've been inspiring to me and I have enjoyed their content and I've enjoyed reading some of their works, I don't strive to make this channel match theirs. So even though I'll talk about writing and I'll talk about things like that, in next week's Inspiration Thursday video, there will be some business YouTubers and some other YouTubers that I enjoy their content, some other people that have been encouraging to me, just like the first week. And I don't seek to emulate them because I feel like what I've been called to do is something slightly different. And a lot of people probably aren't going to love my channel, and that's okay for me, because again, I've said this in a video before, this is supplemental to what I'm doing. This is another place for connection, for free content, and for me to put my content out into the world. This isn't my money-making scheme. I'm not trying to make it big on YouTube. But what I find is that when we are trying to make it big in some of these platforms and we're trying to make a name for ourselves, it can be so easy to get overwhelmed with the comparison game. And something that's been really heavy on my spirit as I've been watching some of these people is that we are, and as I've been teaching, so if you have followed me, you might know that I teach online with a platform called Outschool. And Outschool allows me to teach what I was teaching when I was um, out in brick and mortar business, in running my therapy business, as well as working in schools. I can do that now from home on Outschool. And so um, one thing that I always tell my students is that we all have something to offer the world, and we all can show up and offer something. And so for me, my idea for doing nails while I talk to you guys on Thursdays was from a new YouTuber that I started following that would do her makeup while she told stories. And most of the ones that I started watching were true crime stories, actually. And I'm going to talk about her next week in Inspiration Thursday. But I was like, well, I don't do makeup. I don't know if you can see this, guys. I have no makeup on today, and there's not going to be makeup today because I don't feel good. This is a challenging season for me, and I'm working on showing up authentically, even though I am not feeling my best self. Um, and chronic illness and mental health issues will do that to people. And so that's another thing, is watching people. There are ways that we can show up authentically while still um, challenging ourselves to receive the help and the care that we need. And a different YouTuber was brought to my attention that is not doing that for herself. And it makes me really sad because we are showing up and people are watching, however few or many there are. And what happens is we, on some level, have a responsibility for what we're sharing with the world. And so when we have something going on, it's still possible to show up authentically. It's still possible um, to be getting the support that we need while also supporting others. And so what I've been really challenged in my spirit about is to, let me pull up my notes here, is this idea of identity, who we are, who we were created to be, what we were created to do, what we have that is uniquely ours to offer the world. And in that, I've been challenged in my spirit. God has been challenging me to show up different for my business. I you know I'm going to be running ads, and I'm going to be doing those things, but also what avenue is best for me? Is it one-on-one coaching? Is it group coaching? Is it a course? Is it a mix of the above? What is he directing me to do to put my business out into the world? And when we're on YouTube or we're on social media, playing the comparison game can get so easy. And what I have been challenged about is to abide in the identity of who he created us to be, how he wants us to operate. Now, there are rules that we have to follow. Advertising is good business practice. Showing up for your audience is good business practice. And so these things are things I'm going to do. But as for how I draw people in, what I want to encourage them with, things like that, is going to look a little different. Another YouTuber we're going to talk about next week has had some feedback on this as well, because she shows up as she is, where she is, with the content she can show up with. And to me, I think that's really important. And that's also part of the reason I don't edit my videos, because I'm not an editor. These videos are not meant to be perfect. It's meant to be me and you connecting, whomever stumbles upon them, because we need more of that in the world. Not to say edited videos are bad. Actually, I very much enjoy them. That's not my area. That's not what I'm doing. And then from abiding and identity, the words of competition and complementation came up for me. And what I was really noticing was if we are going to be in competition, it's going to hold us back. Maybe there's a certain level of competition and comparison that's good, where we can see, oh, this is working for this person and I can do something similar. But at the same time, being complimentary. That's part of the reason I started Inspiration Thursdays. Was I had this group of YouTubers that had been instrumental in me learning this new chronic diagnosis that I had after years of probably needing it to have happened back in the day, and not sure if the birth of my son triggered the current flare up and level or what have you. That's where Thursday came from, complimenting these people who have put out content. Now, I don't know if any of them have seen it. I know one saw my Instagram post about it. I don't know if any of the others did. And that's not the point. The point is to help others find them and maybe be encouraged by them as well. And then if they stumble upon it, then great. I'm glad. I love them and don't mind at all. But it's about sharing those things, those people, those places that I can give compliment to, that I can uplift, that I can say, hey, go here. Even my small audience, I don't have a big following right now, and maybe not ever, and that's okay. But being able to redirect people to those places has been instrumental, because I really believe the competition is what is harming us, and it's the complementation that's going to be really important, that we need to start making sense of, and not for our own gain, not to get something out of it, but to just simply uplift others. Because there is too much nonsense in the world happening, honestly. And there's too much of tearing people down, and there's too much of just nonsense, really. And I don't want to be a part of that. And I don't want my business to be a part of that. And I don't want my writing to be a part of that. I want to be known as one who compliments, who uplifts, who points to others, not just myself, which is why at some point I would love to have people reading my books, and I would love to have some people, I do have that author bucket list item of having a writing academy to help people along their writing journey from idea to publish. And I have some things in the work for that. But that's why I also still will point the way to other author tubers, to other authors' books, because I'm not the only one out there. And I'm not, even with other mystery writers or dystopian writers or whatever, I'm not in direct competition. And I know that there are some out there that feel that they are, and that's really sad to me, because it's not that way. It's just not that way at all. And I'm new here. I am new, first of all, just to YouTube. I'm not a new author. I am published, self-published. And if you watched my author bucket list, which I'll link below, you'll see that I really don't care to be traditionally published. So I'm not new to writing. I'm not new to the publishing game. What I'm new to is sharing the journey on a social platform of some kind, like YouTube and Instagram, which is where I share most of my stuff. And so I'm new here. I'm the new person. I'm the new kid on the block. And I realize that that can cause some people to try things that maybe they wouldn't normally try. It might cause people to play around with things that maybe they wouldn't normally play around with. I'm not going to do that, because I'm not comfortable with that. I am showing up the way that I know how to show up. I am speaking to people the way that I know how to speak to people. I am bringing forth what I know is on my heart to bring forth because it's who I am. I am not I'm calm. I am thoughtful. I'm not overly um bubbly and things like that. I am bubbly a little bit. I do smile. I do want to connect with people, like all of that. The things that I show up here with are me. This is authentically me. Me doing my nails is me. This is my version of self-care. That's why I'm filming this on Wednesday instead of Thursday, because I was, I needed that little bit of self-care. I needed to look down at my nails and be like, nails are done. I'm good. And so I'm going to show up the way that I'm going to show up. And I will speak on author stuff, and I will speak on business stuff, and I will speak on ministry stuff. And a lot of it's going to be around how do we show up in our lives when we're dealing with chronic illness or chronic mental health issues. One, because I have training in mental health. I am a retired licensed therapist. I'm no longer licensed because I let it lapse, but I do have that background. I'm not your therapist. So anything I say is general knowledge, not directed towards anyone specific. So, but I do have that background. I'm also a trained coach. I do have that background. And I am also a published author. So I do have that background. And I live with chronic illness, and I've dealt with chronic mental health issues. I have that experience. I am not going to speak outside of that experience. I'm not going to tell you how to be traditionally published beyond the general knowledge that's out there and that I know, because I don't know that world. If I bring forth publishing information, it's going to be self-publishing information. Does that make sense? Like, I'm not, this is me. This is what you're getting. Anyway, all of that to say, this week I've really been challenged to walk in my identity, abide in who God is and who He has created me to be, show up authentically, and reduce competition within my spirit and within people in my fields, and add complementation to my fields, to people in my fields, show up and give of myself. Now, does that mean I'm going to give everything away for free? No, I do run a business. I do have to make money. But that does mean that I'm not going to try to cut into someone else's business. I'm not going to tear someone else down. As a matter of fact, I have a project I'm working on that is going to be very inclusive of other people's businesses. That's going to send some of my people to their businesses. And God has really been working with me about that, about this needs to be about complementation, not just competition. So with that, before we go, I mentioned last week that I had something to share this week. So I have opened an Etsy shop. And in the shop, there are gifts that are going to be great for authors, for moms, for grandmas, for readers, for people that struggle with chronic health or mental health issues. And new products are being added every day. I stick with things that are products that would be related to those things. So I don't have apparel yet. I am adding a baby line soon. So bibs, onesies, shirts, those are coming, but they're not there yet. So keep your eye out. But I have mugs, blankets, pillows, face masks. And I think that's about it. I played around with some t-shirts and some leggings, and I'm just not an apparel person. I might open those up someday. Oh, I will have hoodies though, because I love hoodies for my wellness line. So my wellness line will have hoodies available, but for the most part, most of my lines for authors, readers, moms, they're going to have journals, pillows, blankets, mugs, masks, and I think that's it. So the Etsy store will be linked in the description below, and go there, check it out, get someone a gift, get your mom a gift, get your grandma a gift, get yourself a gift if you're a writer or a reader. I have things that say things like "Quiet Please, I'm reading," and "Night Writer" for those of us that like to write at night. Masks that say "I'd rather be reading." I have a line of fall stuff because I love fall. I'm obsessed with fall. And since fall is here, yay! So that Etsy shop will be linked below. That's where you can buy Soul Cadence products and merch. There are other projects in the works that I'm really excited to tell you guys about that I am going to be rolling out soon. One of them is going to be very author specific, for author and reader specific kind of for a project coming up. Actually for 2 projects coming up. And then let's see, the Etsy shop. Yeah. So I also have a project about to launch mid-September is when we're going to start the pre-launch for a product for authors and business owners. Like not authors who are business owners, but people who are authors or people who are or business owners. So that's in the works. There's just a lot in the works around here. So keep your ear out, keep your eyes out. If you want to know more, if you are like, oh, I want to be informed about these projects, sign up below for the work from home self-care checklist, and that'll get you on our it'll get you that guide, but it'll also get you on our email list to kind of get to know when these projects are coming and what they are and things like that. So with that, I am done with my nails for the week. This is literally one of my favorite colors. I'm almost out of it though, so I need to find it again, and I definitely need to get some nail polish remover because I did a really bad job. But that's okay. I don't care. So with that, I will see you guys next week for another Inspiration Thursday. And I hope you enjoyed yesterday's bonus video, Millwordy. There won't be a lot of bonus videos. It'll mostly just be Thursdays. But with that, I will see you guys next week for Inspiration Thursday. Bye, friends.